Howdy folks, Jeremy here. For those of you who missed my previous video, this is my DC pulse motor, and I've done a few modifications to it. I got rid of the manufactured reed switch, the homemade reed switch that I had, and put in these two manufactured reed switches, and I also added the 2 extra coils. It's amazing how sensitive these manufactured reed switches are compared to the one I built myself. These ones don't need to be anywhere near the magnets. They can be set back quite a ways. The one I had tucked right in as close to the magnets as I can get it without them touching. So those having the manufactured reed switch in there made a big difference in the speed. It sped it up considerably. Using the same batteries as I had last time. These ones here, it's probably about 2.7 volts. It made a big difference in the speed. Also, adding the 2 extra coils made it quite a big difference in the current draw. It actually decreased how much current I was using by about half. So instead of using, I think it was using about 40 milliamps using the 2 coils and 1 of the manufactured reed switch, added the 2 extra coils and the extra reed switch, and the draw went down to about 20 milliamps or 21 milliamps. At the moment I have this running on this Supercap. It's a 100 farad 2.7 volt Supercap. And I charged that overnight off my magnesium carbon earth battery. This has been running for probably must be well over 10 minutes now. This is my second attempt, or actually it's about my 5th attempt at this video. So it's been going, and so this Supercap charged up to about 1.3 volts. And it had about 70 milliamps in it by the time I pulled it off the earth battery this morning. Now that was on the earth battery all night. I had one of these smaller ones, which is a 10 farad 2.7 volt. I had that charging for a couple of hours yesterday, and I think it had same amount of voltage, about 1.3 volts, but it had charged up to about 600 or 700 milliamps. Obviously this one's going to last longer because it has I guess more columns of energy, but this one charged up a lot quicker because there's less columns. I'm sure if I left this one on for maybe several days and nights, it would also produce couple of hundred, or maybe even 1 milliamp. Maybe even 1 amp. So these are the Supercaps. This is the same as the black one, just a different manufacturer. I did have these coils hooked up in parallel, just running off the 1 reed switch, and it was flying. It was doing probably over 4,000 RPM. I know this because my impact driver spins at about, top speed is 3200 RPM, and the motor was spinning faster than this. So having them hooked up in parallel made a big difference in the speed, but it also made a huge difference in how many amps it was drawing. It was drawing about 350 milliamps. These reed switches are only rated for 300 milliamps, so they were starting to stick a little bit. So I pulled it off. I didn't want to ruin the reed switches. I also tried hooking up a 9-volt battery in the same configuration as I have here, and that made a really big difference in the speed as well. That was, yeah, I wouldn't like to guess at how fast that was spinning, but it was also making these reed switches stick as well. And you could also see the little blue arc from the 9-volt battery. You could see that the blue arc inside the reed switches. I would like to increase the voltage on my earth battery. I'd like to get over 2 volts, maybe even 3 volts. To do that, I would have to make a couple more earth batteries and hook them up in series in order to boost the voltage. I did do that, but what I found was one earth battery was producing, my original earth battery was producing about 7 milliamps. My second earth battery was only producing about 3 milliamps, and when I hooked them up in series, they then produced about 2 volts, but only 3 milliamps, which I kind of figured would happen, but I guess I was living in hope that it wouldn't. So in order to get the voltage and the milliamperage up, the batteries both need to be the same size and be outputting the same milliamps. So yeah, I did try hooking this motor up directly to the earth battery, and it wouldn't run it continuously. It would kick the magnets away from the coil, but it wouldn't kick them enough to get to the next coil and continue the rotation. I think with a few more milliamps and some more voltage, I think that would be quite possible. So I hope you enjoyed. Like it if you did, or maybe even subscribe. Thanks.